IVM.
Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your peak performance coach, life coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, and NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of Abzo Expertise Unique, and my organization constantly aims at building leaders across continents. After having worked with so many dynamic business honchos, entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs, management gurus, parents, and student communities worldwide, I am convinced that every individual has unleashed potential, and all we really need to do is realize it. Watch the magic unfold, enhance quality of life, relationships, and professions. On my show, be ready for some riveting conversations with inspirational people, snippets, stories, and much more. So here I am on this exceptional journey to find empowerment and inspiration anywhere I can. Come join me on this breathtaking path of self-realization, potential maximization, positivity, and most of all, embrace your inner power. You are on your way to empowering yourselves. Welcome to the Empowering Series with Zarina Poonawalla.
Hello, it's that time of the week where we say, thank God, it's Monday. Time for your Monday mantra of the week. Now that we understand the difference between empathy and sympathy, it's time to deep dive into some really easy ways to build empathy. So let's get to it. It is so easy to judge, to state, and to look down upon others without understanding their situation. People around the world are suffering simply because we as a race largely lack the concept of empathy. I cannot emphasize enough that we be more empathic towards one another, particularly considering the times we're in. Let me walk you through the 3 types of empathy we are capable of feeling. The 3 types predominantly are cognitive, emotional, and compassionate. Cognitive empathy. It is basically being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, as they usually say. For instance, you see a person trip on the road. You don't laugh. You do feel bad and understand that this person may have felt pain or embarrassment. So you have a look and a thought of empathy, and then you're going to be on your way. Emotional empathy. This is when you quite literally feel the other person's emotions alongside them, as if you had caught that emotion. Let's take the same example. You see a person trip on the road and you instantly understand and feel their pain, as though you twisted your own ankle. In fact, emotional empathy is one of those first expressions we catch as babies. So if a mother cries, a baby starts crying too. And if a mother's smiling, the baby replicates these emotions. That's exactly what emotional empathy is. Compassionate empathy. Compassionate empathy is the type of empathy that is holistic in its approach. It's where you feel, think, and act upon your empathy towards another. And this often allows you to be of help and make a difference as well. Now, in continuation to our example already, you see a person trip and fall, and you promptly feel that pain and go help them and make sure that they're okay. That is what compassionate empathy is. So now that you've established the types of empathy, let's also establish whether you are an empathetic person or not. Now, I like to, from my experience and personal analysis, divide these into another 3. The strongly empathic. These are individuals who use empathy as a strength. They have strong interactive skills and can be quite good at one-on-one conversations and even teamwork. The drawback, however, is that they may be gullible and not be able to differentiate between real and fake exchanges. They may be used easily and they will always make sure not to hurt anyone with their words, even if they are hurt. So those are the strongly empathic people. Then you have the moderately empathic. These individuals have a good sense of empathy, but this may not be at all times. They have the ability to express in more crucial and pressing scenarios. However, they may not show the same expression in consistency. This can be wonderful for rational individuals, but it can also cause trouble in relationships, as your level of expectation is difficult to identify at times, and it can be confusing for your co-workers, partners, spouses, and other relations. So, this is what moderately empathic people look like. Now let's come to the last one, which I hope none of us are. Those are the non-empathic people. These individuals basically lack the ability to understand, feel, or express any kind of empathy. They may have that feeling, but only for themselves. Their pain, their fears, their situations. It's all about them. I know this could be dark, but as per studies done by various scholars and an exemplar in emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman, such individuals usually have psychopathic traits. Now you understand why building empathy is so important? Now that you've got all of this and you truly understand the types of empathy and the types of people that can show you empathy, let's go ahead and make sure that each of us are empathic enough. If you haven't done this already, start doing this now. Make a habit of expressing your appreciation every day. Appreciate others and their efforts. Be sure of the impact you have on those around you and make sure to have a positive impact as far as possible. Try and identify a project or cause you may believe in strongly. For instance, I, for one, plant trees on my birthday every year with growtrees.com. So you can choose a cause and attach yourself to it. Live up to your words and make your actions count. Always ask questions like, how can I be of help? What can I do to make this better? Is there anything you need? Broaden your perspective. Be welcoming of a thought process to understand it better, even if you do not agree with it. Now that's the key there. Listen. Always listen. All ears, all mind, all heart. Now I'll leave you with my parting thoughts. Empathy is the core basis of humanity. If you lack empathy, you lack humanity. And if you lack humanity, you destroy your world. So build empathy and build your world. Be safe, be well, be empowered.
If you liked this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Intel. It's been a great week on the network this week. If you haven't been paying attention, please do listen to some of the shows. We had Chetan Bhagat. This was the first returning guest on Cyrus Says. Do check that out. Great episode. We had Palak Zatakia on Advertising is Dead. Really interesting conversation was had with Varun. We had another crossover on the habit coach. Zarina Poonawalla showed up over there to have a discussion with Ashton about anxiety and pressure. Begin the Journey with Ashish Vidyarthi continues to kill it. Please definitely do check it out. An old friend, Vijay Koshi, was on Storytellers and Storysellers. Do check that out as well. And I'd like to mention one thing. If you're a Tamil speaker, you should definitely check out our podcast, Kadai Podcast Punyan Selvan. Kavita Jiva has done a fantastic job to finish up her first story. It is the last episode which just came out last Monday. Do check it out. If you speak Tamil, it is an incredible achievement. Please do check that out. And with that, hope to see you again next week.
Have you ever wondered how successful people do their thing? How do they navigate the challenges they often face? Are you wondering about the future of restaurants, film, education, technology, and everything else in between? Hi, I'm Gauri Devidayal, best known for being one of the brains behind The Table, an award-winning restaurant in Bombay. One thing my life as a restaurateur has given me is the opportunity to meet with some truly inspiring people, most often just by chatting with strangers at the community table. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about learning the new dimensions of business and understanding how different people swim this sea. It's an opportunity for me to pick their brains and ask them all the questions on my mind, whether it's about learning from their past experiences or talking about future trends. Through their journeys, stories, and insights, I hope you too, like me, will come away inspired and energized. So come, join me every Wednesday with your favorite drink because this round is on me.